The second episode begins with Ree and Manny burning their van and tossing any identifying elements into a river. They decide they can't run from their nemesis, so they choose to stay in Philadelphia while they figure out who is on their tail. Ree returns to Teresa and pretends he has won a holiday to Atlantic City through a radio call-in competition, offering it to her as a gift. In reality, it's an urgent attempt to get her to leave Philadelphia. She is skeptical but eventually agrees to go. Meanwhile, we learn that the $10,000 she requested in the last episode was meant to retain a lawyer to help Ree's father get out of jail. Despite believing in his father's guilt, Ree agrees to meet the lawyer in Teresa's place. Next, Ree meets his contact, Sun, to hand over the loot from their job. It's revealed that the liquid in the aloe bottles is actually liquid meth and that the lab they hit was a conversion lab, where it was processed into crystal meth. Sun warns that Rick is the weak link, which could expose Ree and Manny's involvement. Ree asks for advice on escaping his situation, but Sun tells him that hiding isn't a solution. Ree and Manny retreat to their storage shed hideout. Ree suspects that Rick intentionally set them up by directing them to a conversion lab. Manny realizes that Rick was in prison with Ree's father, which prompts Ree to visit Bart. During the visit, Ree demands to know what his father has told other inmates about him and why Teresa is arranging for a lawyer. Bart refuses to give details. Ree recalls a childhood memory of Bart abusing his mother, but Bart dismisses it, claiming he doesn't remember. However, this confrontation prompts Bart to share some information. At an AA meeting, he met someone named Danny, who worked for a group called Eden's Gardeners, which Rick may have been involved with. Ree and Manny investigate an address linked to Eden's Gardeners, using their DEA routine to gain access. Inside, they discover 4 brutally murdered bodies. Shocked, Manny calls his girlfriend, Sherry, urging her to leave town immediately. As they prepare to leave, gunfire erupts. Ree and Manny engage in a firefight with 2 bikers. They manage to take them down, leaving one wounded. Ree attempts to interrogate him, but when the biker fires at them again, Manny executes him. Ree takes the man's phone, and Manny wants to bury the bodies, but Ree refuses. At a car wash, Ree and Manny argue. Manny resents how Ree always tries to control everything. Suddenly, the phone rings. Ree answers, pretending to be the biker. The caller, a creepy-voiced man from the previous episode, gives him a target and an address, Ree's own address. Panicked, he rushes home to collect his belongings. Meanwhile, in the police storyline, detectives investigate the house where the gunfight took place. It's revealed that the 4 victims were Amish kids on Rumspringa. However, Detective Mark notices that the bullet casings suggest a firefight rather than an outright massacre. He then visits Mina, who has just come out of surgery. She is distraught over the death of Jack, another undercover agent from episode 1. She warns that a war is coming. Mark wants to pull her off the case, but she convinces him to let her maintain her cover. Back at Ree's house, he finds the place in disarray, but it turns out to be the work of Teresa's dog rather than an intruder. He gathers his belongings and flees to the storage lockup. Later, the phone rings again. This time, the voice on the other end knows he's Ree. The man threatens Ree's father in prison and then Manny. When Ree offers to return the drugs and money, the voice makes it clear that it's too late. He wants blood. Ree calls Manny, but there's no answer. Panicked, he rushes to Manny's house. On the way, Teresa calls, frustrated that he missed the meeting with the lawyer. When he arrives, he finds no one at Manny's place. As he leaves, he spots 2 bikers with guns. One of them exits the vehicle and gives chase. Ree flees through backyards and alleys, eventually escaping by tricking his pursuer into getting crushed by a truck in a narrow alley. The second biker, seeing what happened, decides not to pursue him. That evening, Ree visits the lawyer's office and meets Michelle. In her office, he momentarily breaks down, worried about Manny. Michelle then reveals the reason a lawyer is involved in Bart's case. He is up for compassionate release due to a serious illness.